Hey, it's Tori from Bits of Polish. Welcome back to another video. If you are new, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are a longtime follower, welcome back. Thank you for joining for another video. Today we are going to be talking about my holographic toppers, specifically the rainbow holo toppers that I have in my collection. I have roughly, I think, 8 or 9 that I was able to dig out, and we are going to be comparing them. I am going to be doing live swatches on a swatch wheel. I have a swatch wheel already prepped with a black polish. We're going to be swatching these over black. I feel like that is going to be the best way to showcase how each of these polishes look, and you'll be able to see them a little bit better than over any type of base color. So I did go ahead and choose to do a black base, and then we will live swatch these as we talk about them. I got this idea from Polish with Ray, so Ray, thank you so much for inspiring this video. She did her toppers that are holo recently, and I was like, I don't know why I hadn't thought to do that, but it was a great inspiration video from her because it's going to give me a chance to go through and see what I have, see if I have anything similar, and let me know if I need to keep everything or if I can let something go. Most of these I believe I've used. I have a couple drugstore options. We've got some indie options as well. If they are available, I will list them down in the description box. I'm not sure what you can get and what is unavailable, so check down there if you are curious. I do know a couple of these, being like mainstream brands, are still available depending on where you purchase them from, so that'll be listed down below as well. First up, we have Wildflower Lacquer. This is Supernova. This is a really pretty, flaky, holo topper. It is not overly dense. This is one that I really enjoy if I want a bigger particle topper effect. This one is perfect. It is just the right size of glitter particles that I feel like it just works beautifully over top of so many different colors. I'm going to go ahead and go in with that Wildflower Lacquer topper. This one again is one of my favorites. I picked it up on a whim when she released this collection, and I'm so glad I got this one. It is just so beautiful. You can see here you get so many glitter particles out, but it is not overwhelming either. So that is Wildflower's Supernova. Next up is Polish for Days Crystalline Diamond Top Coat. This one is marketed as a top coat that has holographic glitter. It is not marketed as a topper solely, it is a top coat, so you basically get a topper and a top coat all in one, which I absolutely love. I've worn this one in recent manicures, and I always top coat. I think I forget that it is actually a top coat already, so I do top coat this one, but this is very, very similar to the Wildflower Lacquer polish. With that said, it does have those top coat capabilities. So here are both of these together. So you've got the Wildflower on the right and the Polished for Days on the left. These are very, very similar polishes. You really can't tell one way or the other which polish is which. If I didn't know which one was which brand, I wouldn't be able to tell a difference. They are very, very, very similar, as you guys can see. I feel like Wildflower in person has a more silvery tone to the glitter particles. So we're going to go ahead and see here. I'm curious what these look like side by side. I feel like this one and the Wildflower polish is going to be very close, but it will dry down glossy as opposed to the Wildflower polish because it is a top coat, which again, I love. With the Polish for Days polish, that one is, I believe, $8.50, and when you add in the holo flakes, you're getting a topper and a top coat for that price, so I feel like that is a great, great option. So here you can see the difference. Wildflower is a matte finish, and then you have a shiny finish with the Polished for Days. It's gorgeous. Again, both of these are very, very similar, but one has a top coat effect and one is just solely a topper. Next, we have this one from Rogue Lacquer. This is Apparition, and this is a holographic flaky topper. This one is very similar to the first two that we talked about. I do feel like there's some differences with this one, and we'll see that here when we do the swatches. But I'm going to go ahead and put this one next to the Wildflower polish, and you can already see there's a little bit of a color difference with these. The Rogue Lacquer polish is not as bright of a silver holo. I feel like it's just a hint different in color tone. I have had Apparition for a little while in my collection, and you could tell there's just a slight difference, but I'm curious to see if the one from Rogue is as similar to these first two we talked about. This is another great contender. I picked it up last December, I believe, just to try it. This one, yeah, they're very close, very, very close polishes. So here you could see all three of those together. You've got Rogue Lacquer, which is on the right, Polish for Days is in the middle, and then that Wildflower Lacquer polish is on the left. I will say, I feel like Rogue Lacquer has more glitter packed into it than what these other ones have. Even the Polish for Days is a little bit more sparse. So if you factor those in, you do have some differences here, but this one definitely has more of that glitter payoff added into the base. It is not quite as subtle, I should say. It's a little bit more dense. Formula is still great on the Rogue polish as well. Next up, we have a Holo taco polish. This one is Everything Taco. This is a flaky holographic top coat. This one is actual flakies and not glitter particles. I'm curious about this one just to see what it looks like. This one is beautiful. I bought it. Everybody's talked about it. And I wanted to kind of see what this one looks like up against these other polishes. Again, is a flaky polish, so it is going to be different than the like holographic glitters that we're talking about. This one's beautiful. I love it. It is definitely not quite that scattered hollow look. As you can see here, you do have some holographic particles. This one, I don't know, maybe this one shouldn't have gone in the video, but it probably shouldn't be in here. But I was like, I want to do holographic toppers, so let's see what they look like. But this is what Everything Taco looks like, and it is gorgeous. It does have holographic micro glitters in here as well, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it up against those flakies, but I love this one. They're a great option for a holographic top coat or holographic topper. This is absolutely beautiful. Moving on to a couple mainstream polishes, we have this one from Orly. This is Shine On Crazy Diamond. I have a cat hair, sorry about that. This was one I got in a destash a while back and fell in love with it. I did add a little bit of suspension base to this one because it had thickened up a little bit. The person that had it before me had used this polish quite a bit, and I did add some suspension base just to bring it back to life. So this is almost a full bottle. Like scattered holographic top coat or topper. I have the one from China Glaze we're going to see here in just a minute, and I'm curious to see those side by side, but this is another great contender. If you can find this at TJ Maxx or a discount store, I would highly recommend you pick it up. You're not going to be disappointed. It is a great option for a holographic top coat or topper, and I love this polish. It is one of my favorites. It's bigger glitter particles than like China Glaze Fairy Dust. So there is Shine On Crazy Diamond. Look how gorgeous this one is. This is beautiful. If you find it, I would recommend picking it up. You're not going to be disappointed. It is such a great staple to any nail polish collection. This is a wonderful option. And again, it is bigger particle size than China Glaze Fairy Dust, but we're going to go ahead and talk about that one next, so let's see what that one looks like. Here we have the cult classic Fairy Dust from China Glaze. This is a polish that I waited way too long to pick up. Everybody has talked about this polish for a long time. Not sure why I never got it before, but this is that like micro shimmer holographic top coat. Absolutely a beautiful polish. I did end up having to thin this out a little bit. It started to get a little thick on me. I know that some people have that issue, some people haven't had that issue. I believe Ray had said that she has not had a thickness issue with this polish. Mine did thicken up a little bit over time, so I went in with just some suspension base. You can use polish thinner if, you know, that's all you have. But I did go ahead and add suspension base to my bottle to thin it out a little bit because it did get a little bit thick. But this is another one that is a gorgeous, gorgeous topper. And as you can see here, it is smaller shimmer size than what Orly's polish is. So that is what they look like side by side. So we've got the Orly polish on the left and China Glaze Fairy Dust on the right. So the particle size, glitters, definitely different sizes. You've got that micro shimmer with China Glaze, and the particles in Orly are just a little bit bigger, and it is a little bit more sparse. You have a little bit more base to that Orly polish, whereas the glitter shimmer ratio to base of China Glaze, you get a lot more of those glitters out with that one. So we have this one from the brand Whatcha. This is something I bought in a duo, I believe. This is Thank You Mom. It was a Mother's Day offering for, I want to say May of this year, but I wanted to include it because I want to see what it looks like up against China Glaze Fairy Dust. I don't know if they are the same, not really sure. This one is kind of like a holographic shimmer. This was a topper in a duo that I got, and I just fell in love with it. The combo was gorgeous. This one is definitely similar to China Glaze Fairy Dust for sure, but there's a little bit of a difference here. You could see it. You have, I want to say there's holographic shimmer in here along with like micro glitter pieces. So basically how I'm going to describe it is this Whatcha polish is, I want to say, the Orly polish and China Glaze put together pretty much. You have got a combination that looks like they just kind of paired together shimmers and some other glitter pieces. So that is what the Whatcha polish looks like. So it is very, very similar. It has similar properties to the China Glaze Fairy Dust, but it is still definitely different. They've got just a little more added to the Whatcha polish. So that is Whatcha Thank You Mom. And then lastly is Prism Break. This is I want to call this an actual shimmer. This is a shimmer holographic topper. This was sent to me by a viewer, so I did not pay for this one, but I do know it's still available on their website, and it is a gorgeous polish. But this turns any cream into a linear hollow polish. So you could see it here over black. It definitely has finer glitter particles than all of these that we have talked about. Everything we've talked about is a little bit bigger in size. This straight up fits that holographic shimmer category. It's a perfect addition to any manicure. This just adds that perfect amount of sparkle. Here is a close-up of all of these polishes just to show you guys comparisons. So first off, we have this one, which is Wildflower Supernova. Then we have Polished for Days Crystalline Diamond Top Coat, followed by Apparition from Rogue Lacquer. Then we have the flaky polish here. This is Everything Taco by Holo Taco. We have Shine On Crazy Diamond from Orly, China Glaze Fairy Dust, Thank You Mom from Whatcha. And then lastly, we have the KB Shimmer topper called Prism Break. So this is what everything looks like. They are absolutely gorgeous. I feel like they are just stunning. These are absolutely beautiful. So that is everything that I have in my collection. If you have any of these toppers or sparkly hollow toppers, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear what you have in your collection. I hope that this gives you some inspiration on polishes you could possibly look for. Some of these are not available, but you could possibly find them in a destash. So if you were interested, I will list some Facebook groups down below that are for polish destashing and things like that, that could potentially give you the option to find these if you don't have them in your collection and they possibly may not be available. So check down there for any of those groups. But I hope that you guys found this helpful. I enjoyed it. It gave me a chance to go through my collection and see what I had. I knew I had quite a few hollows, but I wasn't sure what I had in my collection, and I try to keep them on display because I reach for these quite often if I want a hollow topper. I don't have an absolute favorite for this particular line of polish either. Each of these serves a great purpose. I know that China Glaze Fairy Dust is a cult classic among the nail polish community. That one is a favorite. I love that topper. It is readily available, I think, at Beyond Polish. There'll be a link down below. I have a discount code for Beyond Polish as well. That'll save you 10%. So if you purchase through Beyond Polish using my code or the link, that does support my channel and help me to continue bringing content to this channel for you guys. So if you do use my code, thank you for your support. The rest of these will be listed if they are available, if I have any info down below. So I think that is it. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up before you leave. It lets me know that you enjoy videos like this. And also be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out videos that I upload. Have a great week, and we'll see you later.